I shot my first goose this past waterfowl season. If you want to hear the story about how I shot my first goose, I was by myself, no decoys. I was out in the reservoir. The water had receded. Okay, the water had receded a lot, probably a couple feet, and the water had gone down to such an extent that I could literally walk on what would have been underwater not too long ago. So it kind of like this land, I guess you could say, it's now land, used to be underwater. So I walked over it and I spotted some Canadian geese. I spotted them in sitting in the corner of the reservoir, and they were all like a big flock, just sitting there, kind of quiet. Because the thing is, you would think that they'd be, making calls and making noise, but they don't. They're quiet when they're sitting. They're quiet. A goose will start making noise usually when they're about to fly again, or when they are flying. So that's a mistake. A lot, if you're a waterfowl hunter, you should don't make. You got to know when to call, when to make the goose call. I didn't make any goose calls. I had no decoys. I could have probably shot two more, but I just stopped at one because it was my first one, and I kind of got too excited. And I was like, I don't know. I'm just happy I got one. So what happened was these geese, excuse me, these geese, they were sitting in the corner of the reservoir, right? And I spotted them, and I knew that they could not fly backwards because there was a tree line there. The tree line was blocking their flight path, so I knew that if they were to fly away, they would have to fly towards me in a way and at an angle because I was sitting right here. Let's say I was right here. Their flight path was literally right here, and they couldn't go this way because there's a tree line right here blocking them. So I figured, you know what? I got them trapped. I knew I had them trapped. So what did I do? I just sat down. I just sat down and I said, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for them to move. So I waited for them. I probably waited maybe 20 minutes. I just sat down on the ground, sitting there with my shotgun, waiting for them to move. And I knew that they would. So eventually I think they spotted me too, because there's always a lookout and he's looking, he's like with his long neck and he sees you and he spots you. And what do you call it? So eventually what happened was they started going like this, like really fast, right? And that's when you know that they're gonna take off. So they're going like this really fast, and they start going towards me, but at an angle, right? They were gonna pass right by me, and I knew it. So I stood up and I kind of like ran, but not ran because I can't. I don't like the idea of running with a shotgun. I want to trip and fall and shoot in a direction I don't want to shoot. But I had the shotgun. I didn't fall. I kind of, you know, jogged, let's say, up this little hill, and they were passing me like this, the whole flock. They're close. They're like within 30 yards. They're probably like 20, 25 yards away. And then what happens? I swung the shotgun like this. I swung it like this, right? And I took one shot. And took, I hit the safety off, took one shot, boom. I used Apex waterfowl ammo. It was really good ammo because it has the mixed in the TSS mixed into with the steel shot. That stuff is awesome. You should check that out. So anyway, I hit one goose. I saw him fall like this. You saw him fall from the sky like this. Boom. Maybe like, I don't know, like I said, 20, 25 miles away, 25 yards away from where I was standing. And then I could have shot two more, but I didn't. So I ran over to him and I grabbed him by the neck and I just took him home. But that was the first time I ever shot any waterfowl. So I'm learning. I never grew up in a hunting family, so I had to learn all this by myself. So I'm excited for this coming season. So we'll talk more about that. But the point is, I do enjoy wild game. The goose was actually really good. You just now have to know how to cook it. It was I tried to make, like, this goose chutney, like, I'm not an expert chef. It was pretty good, though. I did like it.